official month that we became official with starting the Kris and Christine Show podcast.
Yes, it was a big month for us, and we took the leap of faith, and we're loving it.
And now, coming to you from the K2 studios in San Diego, California, it's the world-famous Kris and Christine Show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How you all doing today? I am Kris.
And I'm Christine, and welcome to episode 19 of the Kris and Christine Show. Do-do-do-do.
Wow, that is fantastic. It is 2019. It is the 19th episode, and this is the very, very last episode of 2019.
Of the decade, right? Because we're getting ready to launch into 2020, a brand new decade. Like the Roaring 20s, reminds me of The Great Gatsby.
Oh, really? You know, I think I saw that movie once. I wasn't a big fan of it. I guess there's like a big book it's based on or something.
Didn't you and I just watch that a couple of months ago?
No, I didn't watch it, but you watched it, and you mentioned it to me, and I said, oh, yeah, I did see that movie, but it was okay to me. I didn't really care for it. Maybe I didn't understand it.
I don't know. I didn't read the book. You know, I think I watched it with some girlfriends or something like that.
Well, it definitely wasn't me then.
Yeah, I think it was some girls, and I was just really into like all the 1920s era decor.
Oh, that's right. They kept using the phrase old sport.
Old sport, yeah. It's 1920s, and you had the flappers and...
The flappers?
Yeah, the flapper dresses, like the Prohibition era 1920s flapper dresses. I think we need to bring them back in the year 2020.
Well, maybe it will. We don't know yet.
Yep,
we have to wait.
Bring it back.
We'll let you know late December of next year. We'll bring that one back. But being that it is New Year's Eve coming up this week.
Yep, it is.
Yes, it is. It's going to be the end of the decade, right?
Yeah, it is. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can. It seemed like it was just yesterday that it was like 2009.
Right. And I graduated high school in 1999. I can't believe it's been over 20 years already.
Wow, 1999. My goodness. Dude, did calendars even work back then?
Yes, they did. But I did not have a cell phone back then.
What, was it a pager?
I didn't have a pager. I had nothing. I was untethered.
Carrier pigeons? Or
yeah. It was called face-to-face conversations.
Pony Express?
Landlines.
Landlines?
What are those?
Whoa, you plug them to the wall?
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that. I think we should get a landline here at home, Kris.
You know, when I moved in here, I had a landline at my apartment before I bought the house, and I was debating on bringing it back over here. But then I was like, well, I don't need that stupid thing, so I just cut it with my cell phone only. Most people do that. I wonder how many
people still do have a landline.
A lot of people do, because what happens is they get like a discount on their cable package, or they bundle it all together, and they figure it's always good to have a landline. Oh, my dad, by the way, he's like, you gotta have a landline in case of emergencies, because the landline will work and your cell phone's not gonna work, and all that stuff. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
I'll never forget. It was a number of years ago when I lived back up in Central California, and I normally just call my parents by their cell phones, but I couldn't get a hold of them. And so then I called their phone number. We'd had the same phone number since I was a tiny girl.
Oh, wow.
And so I called the phone number, and it came with the disconnected tone.
Oh, okay.
It's like, the number you called is no longer in service. And I was like, what in the world? And so I kept calling their cell phones, and I'm like, Mom, did you knock your phone off the hook? And she's like, huh? And I said, the home phone, I can't get through. And she's like, oh, your dad and I got rid of that. We don't need it anymore. And I was like, what is the world coming to where my mom and dad don't have a landline anymore?
Well, times are changing.
We
are coming up to the year 2020. Hey, and speaking of which, Where are the flying cars at? I
Right.
saw Back to the Future Part 2.
Isn't that when the Jetsons came out? Like, it was talking about 2020 also?
Maybe it was 2001 or something, but I know that in Back to the Future Part 2, that was in the future. They went to the big year in the future, to the year 2015. That was
wow.
5 years ago. And they had flying cars and flying skateboards. Where are those things?
Well, we have hoverboards. That's kind of like a flying
Those aren't
skateboard.
hoverboards. They're like two-wheel, like unicycle things that, like, with battery packs that explode if you don't take care of them right. You know.
I don't know, but I'm excited for what this coming year is going to bring. But before we hop into that, I just wanted to ask you, Kris, how was your Christmas?
It was fantastic.
Was it? I know you worked on Christmas Day, so we had like present opening, just the two of us on Christmas morning. But I did want to ask you, out of all of the things that you got from me, what was your favorite gift?
Gosh, there's so many. I'm trying to think. I can't pinpoint exactly one thing, but I do remember. Gosh, I'm trying to think now. Here I'm on the spot. Well, I should be on the spot, but I like the fact that Christine, I don't know how she did this, but she registered me as a lordship in England or something. What, England?
Yeah, the Lord of the House of Pierpont Archer.
Yes, I am officially a Lord Christopher, and I get all the rights and power of a Lord. I
Yes,
guess.
you do, including having everybody call you that. FYI, people, he's enjoying that.
Yes, I got a plaque made, and it's going to go on my wall. And
Lord Christopher.
That's right. And you all need to bow down to me and kiss my ring. And I get knighting powers. And when I go to England, I got to say, hey, what's up, king or queen or whatever it is over there? And say, what's up? How you doing?
Yep, you do.
And I'll walk right past those guards and they watch the castle or whatever. They look straight the whole time. And I'm going to walk right past them and be like, yo, what's up? I'm a lord. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. What's up, Charles? How you doing, buddy? Give him give him like knuckles.
Maybe call him Chuck.
Chuck.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Hey.
Yeah, we're the same level.
Actually, I'm above you. I'll say, hey, Chuck. I'll like put my ring finger out to him and say, you know what's up. Give it a kiss.
As you can tell, friends, Kris definitely needs to study up on what the rights and responsibilities are of a lord, especially a lord of the House of Pierpont Archer.
Well, when I go to Pierpont Archer, I'm gonna walk up in there and say, "What's up? I'm your king now. So bow down to me." And I should at least get a parking spot up in front in this place.
Yeah, I think you should get some reserved parking for sure, right?
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Or
And that
maybe they
usually
have like
happens
your
with
own horse or something.
My own horse?
I don't know. Maybe
They have horses back then? Or over there?
Yeah.
They haven't been. I thought they had cars over there,
Yeah, they have cars too.
but they're on the wrong side of the road.
They are. So maybe you should ride a horse.
Oh, Save a Cowboy. Like that
It was
song?
definitely a fun gift to pick out for you. It was one of those Groupon deals, so I got a great deal on it.
Ooh.
But yes, you can buy a lordship or a ladyship, and I chose to gift you a lordship.
Thank you so much.
I did not designate myself a lady because I already wear that title. Don't need to pay for it. You're welcome.
Yes, I give you that title. You're my lady. There you go. So,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead, lady. You're the lady.
The lady of the house. No, I was just going to say, any other presents that you really loved?
I'm trying to think, I mean, that's one thing that really came up, spot on my, top of mind as one that I can really think of right now. Mm-hmm. Also we got a official, signage for the K2 Studios.
Yes, we did.
And it's going to go in the studio here. And it says, welcome to the K2 Studios.
Yes, it
Fitting.
does. And it is over on our Instagram. And if you don't know where to find us on Instagram, we'll tell you where in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But we do want to let you know that we do have a great show in store for you, as this is our last show of 2019. We have 2 fun segments for you. And the first one, we are going to walk you through a year in review of the life of Kris and Christine in 2019. And we're going to be coming up with that right after this. The Kris and Christine Show is now on Instagram at the K2 Show San Diego. Check out our latest pictures, videos, show teasers, and life updates on Instagram at the K2 Show San Diego. And now it's time for Hot Topics. Do.
Awesome. Hot Topics, here we come. And the first one is we have the official Kris and Christine Show 2019 year in review.
Yes, we know you all have been waiting for this. We've only been here on our podcast with you since about August, but we felt like you would love to get a little window into our world and find out what's been brewing over the last 365 days.
Is that how many days are in a year? Just kidding.
You're so funny. So I get to kick us off with talking through our first couple of months. So we're going to hop into January and the happenings for January. So we kicked off the year of 2019. Kris and I did, celebrating our first New Year's together. And we were actually gifted these really beautiful Tiffany & Company champagne flutes from a very, very dear friend. She gifted them to me last Christmas, and she said on the note, I have a feeling you're going to have many things to celebrate this year. And so Kris and I broke them out on New Year's Eve, and we toasted it up fireside with some champagne and strawberries to ring in 2019. Do you remember that, Kris?
Yes, and welcome 2019 and Happy New Year's.
Yeah, it was really fun. And so January was a pretty calm month for us, but in February we kicked it up into high gear with our first ever family trip to the happiest place on earth.
Disneyland.
Yeah, I got to go for a conference in February for work to Disneyland, and I was able to pay to extend my stay. And Kris and the boys, our two littlest guys, came up and joined me, and Ezekiel, our oldest, came down from Northern California, and we had a fun-filled weekend. Right, Kris?
We stayed at the official Disneyland Hotel and Resort.
We did, and it was so fun. We went to both parks, I think, didn't we?
No, just the one. We went to
one
Disneyland.
park.
That's right.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland for one day, and then we had a character breakfast on our second morning.
That's right, at the Disneyland Hotel, wasn't it? Or one of the hotels.
California, the Paradise Pier.
That's right. In the breakfast, they had the breakfast buffet, and they had all the characters dressed up in their costumes and stuff, and they would do pictures with you and kind of mingle and hang out. And it was a buffet style.
Yeah, and the kids got to dance with the characters.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. That was so much fun. That was in February.
Yeah, it definitely was. And we had our first Valentine's together, and we kept it low key. Kris had to work on actual Valentine's, so I made him this fabulous gourmet dinner. It was so delicious. It was like steak and bacon wrapped
It was so
asparagus.
Good. It was like a restaurant style. I walk in here, I'm like, well, where do you get all this food from? Like, who catered this? But no, Christine actually cooked it.
I did. And I looked up a bunch of different recipes, and Kris's favorite dessert is bananas Foster.
Ooh, I love some banana Fosters.
He loves it so much. And I'd gone to New Orleans a few months before, and so I got this cookbook with a recipe for bananas Foster, and I was following it like step by step by step. And then like the final step came where you're supposed to light it on fire.
Yes.
And it says you needed to have this banana liqueur. And I'd hunted it down. I didn't know where to get it. And so I got some in these little like shot containers, and I poured it in, and I went to light it, and it wouldn't light. And I kept pouring more. And Kris was like,
it not strong enough?
It
the
wasn't.
Alcohol?
No.
It needs to be like 151 or something strong, really strong alcohol to catch on fire.
Yeah, and I think it was like 50.
Whatever. It's like water.
Yeah, it was. So it was a Banana Foster's fail, but it was definitely fun, and he still ate it all.
Of course I did.
Yeah. And so that was February. And then in March, we didn't do a lot of traveled together in March. Kris was actually super understanding of me wanting to go on a solo adventure to Salt Lake City to go spend a weekend with my best friend. And so that was for my birthday. And when I came back, Kris and the boys put together a yummy dinner, and Kris cooked a yummy steak dinner for me, and it was really fun.
Yes, I did. I am Chef Kris is in the house.
Yes.
Awesome.
Chef Kris, as well as Lord Kris.
Lord
You're
Kris,
welcome.
Chef Kris. Well, I wasn't a lord back then. I was still just a peasant or whatever you call him back then. Now we get into April. April got a little fun because April, we took our first official together trip together.
Yeah.
We went and flew on an aeroplane.
An aeroplane.
I know. We went on a wilderness adventure. We went glamping in Zion National Park in Utah.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing, wasn't it, Kris?
We took a flight on an aeroplane to Las Vegas.
We did.
We flew to Las Vegas, got a rental car, and then we drove into Utah, where we actually had to find this big old campground called Under Canvas. And it's a glamping campground. And you rent these tents that have actual, king-size beds inside them. The tent is like a bedroom.
Yeah.
And it has a fire stove inside.
Like a little wood stove.
Wood stove inside with a little vent that goes out the side of it. And it gets really hot and stuffy in those
Yeah, it
things,
does.
surprisingly. They give you all kinds of wood. They give you all the gear. On the actual campground, there's a big, massive trailer kitchen thing attached to this other bigger tent. And they had a restaurant there, and they had a big fire pit ring there, and they supplied everything. They supplied games for you to do, activities,
S'mores.
stuff for s'more, a
Yeah.
s'more building kit that you can go to the campfire and grab all your gear and just start doing it right then and there. It was amazing. In fact, it was so amazing that I want to do it again.
Yeah, so we had so fun, and then we went into Zion, and we hiked around for a day. And when I say hiking, it was more like a leisurely stroll.
Oh, of course. It was we were on the baby trails.
Yeah.
Not like the mountain climbing trails where you need ropes and all that. No, we were you could take a stroller and push it if you wanted to. So
Yeah.
we did that. And then we drove back to Vegas so we could fly out of town. And while we were in Vegas, we had time to kill. So while you're in Las Vegas, we did a little bit of gambling. But while we were there, I knew that the Shelby American has their super warehouse facility in Las Vegas. It's right there. You can see it from the freeway. I said, go check that out. We went and checked that out, and that was awesome. They've got all the Shelby cars, all the you can look inside their warehouse, inside their shop, their building shop.
Yeah, it's the big, gigantic auto shop where they're doing all these custom jobs on different Mustangs.
Mustangs car, all kinds of stuff. They have in a museum and an unbelievable gift shop with anything Shelby you can think of. They have it for sale.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what Kris didn't say is we won some money along the way. He won some money.
How much money did I win? I don't remember.
When we first landed in Vegas, before we went out to Zion, you went on one of those airport slot machines.
Oh, it's right.
And
yeah.
you won $60 right off the bat. And you would have thought he won the lottery. Everybody, he was like, woohoo!
I know, so excited. Well, I was pumped up for the trip. Just got off the airplane, all pumped up, excited. We just landed in Vegas. We're going to go on this cool road trip. We're going to go over to see this national park. We're going to go camping, glamping. Glamping, yeah, right. And then I was just so pumped up, and it's so exciting, I haven't done anything like that in forever.
Yeah, it was super fun. And then on the way back, when we got back into town, we actually went to the Paris because we wanted to have a lunch buffet, and we did some gambling there. And Kris won some more money, a couple $100, and then he decided to drop it all at the Shelby place.
Oh, yeah. The Shelby store got my money, but I got some cool T-shirts and some cool glasses and stuff for the kids and all kinds of souvenirs. And plus, we got to see all those cool cars.
Yeah, he loved it.
Oh, my goodness. I think that just seeing the stuff alone. And by the way, to go see the cars, if you guys are in Vegas and you like Shelby, or Or even better, if you just saw the Ford versus Ferrari movie and you're like got Shelby on the brain,
Yes.
just go into the Shelby store, or the Shelby Museum. What is it called?
It's like a store, museum, warehouse
Shop,
thing.
something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In their lobby, which is the place is massive. It's like a big warehouse. So it's
Yeah,
a
it is.
massive warehouse. So the front half of it is they actually have like a museum, and it's all free. You can see all these cool cars. They have all the Shelby stuff, and then they have a gift shop too. So it's cool to see. It's all free to do. So
I really enjoyed myself. So even ladies, if you're listening, you're like, I don't know if I'd be into that. It's really cool. I loved to look around, and especially going with my guy to something that he loved so much. It's like, who wouldn't like that? A wilderness weekend where you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're getting dirty, and you're under the stars, and then you get to go gambling, and then you get to end the weekend with looking at some hot historic cars. Like, I think it's a perfect weekend.
that was fantastic.
And that was April.
And that was April. Now what goes in the next month is May. And in May, it looks like we went to Belmont Park with the kids a lot. Belmont Park, if you're not familiar with San Diego, it is a beachside
Amusement park.
Amusement park. It has gotten bigger over the years, but a long time ago, it was a very, very simple park. It had the historic roller coaster, which is the Giant Dipper in Mission Beach. And another company, I think, bought the whole property, and they've slowly started adding more theme park style of amusements for kids and arcades and things like that. So we got actual annual passes for the kids. And the kids have so much fun riding the roller coasters, going on the little kid rides, playing the arcade.
The jungle obstacle course. They love
There's
that.
jungle
Zip line.
obstacle course, zip lines,
Rock climbing walls.
rock
those
climbing
things.
walls, laser tag,
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff. We go there all the time, down by the beach right here, and they love doing it.
Yeah, it's free parking. And so for us, we have that annual pass. And so it definitely pays for itself, because on a day when it's not rainy and the kids are feeling cooped up, it's like, oh, well, let's just drive down by the beach, and we're going to let the kids go play for a couple hours. We'll follow them
Right.
around, and then
Right.
we'll have dinner on the beach.
Oh, right. That sounds fantastic. Now, Christine also, that very same month, went to Harvard.
I did. I went to Harvard. I got accepted to an institute on race and equity leadership in schools. It was very exciting, and it was a dream for me. When you're a kid and you grow up seeing these Ivy League schools and you have dreams that maybe someday you can go, and then the reality hits when you graduate high school and you're like, it's way too expensive, and my grades are good but not that good. Getting accepted to this kind of an institute just made so many dreams come true. And so I went for 4 days, and it was amazing. And I would say that I went through the bookstore at Harvard kind of like Kris went through the gift shop at Shelby. I came back with bags of swag.
Yeah, I got
shirts,
I got
everything.
a shirt. Yeah, Christine bought me a shirt, a Harvard shirt, and I wear it all the time proudly. And everybody asks, I say, yeah, I went to Harvard. Yeah.
Chris asked me when I went, he's like, can you bring me back a fake diploma?
Yes.
And I'll just write my name on it.
Yeah.
They don't sell those there.
What?
FYI.
I thought that'd be the first thing they'd sell there. You walk
But
in
I
there.
did get a Harvard frame for my certificate that I earned, and I proudly display it on the wall because I worked for that.
Yes, that is amazing. And also, that very same month, almost as important, it
Yes.
was my first year of my first anniversary of owning my Z car.
It's a big deal, people. Kris has a Nissan 370Z sports car. It is his baby. She is beautiful. He takes amazing care of her, and he celebrated having her for a year.
That was my 1 year anniversary.
Your Zeniversary.
My Zeniversary. Thank you so much. That takes us into June. And let's see, June is a big fun-packed month around here, especially in San Diego, because in the month of June, the San Diego County Fair happens the whole month of June,
Yes.
from like the 1st to July 4th. The entire month of June at the Del Mar Fairgrounds.
Yes.
The San Diego County Fair. It's a big deal.
It's a really big
I
deal,
go every
people.
year. It's massive. I mean, every fair. It's all the fair stuff: the food, the rides, the exhibits, the. I can go on and on.
All of the different sales, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
different types of products and stuff. But it was my first time, and Kris took me, and it was so fun. I had a blast and ate some fair food and went on some rides and bought some fair junk.
Yes, they know how to get your money. Let me tell you, the fair. I mean, you go there and you think, "Oh, I'll bring a few bucks," but because the food is super expensive. One
Yeah, it
thing,
is.
and all those like little gizmos and gadgets. You walk around the shop, they sucker you in to buy stuff. You're like, "Oh, I need one of those Mop-a-Lop 3000s or whatever it is." Oh, I need one of those.
And Kris is so funny when we go in those places because he's like drawn to all of those things like bugs to a light. So we go into this one exhibit hall and I had my hair down and it was bothering me. And we walk up and there's this like bun maker little contraption. And Kris is like, "Christine, you need that." And he's like telling the lady, he's like, "Can you show her that works?" So next thing I know, the lady like has my hair in a ponytail and is like wrapping it up in this thing. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm buying too."
Or with me with a car wax guy.
I know.
I see the guy doing the wax demo with some new wax he's got. And he's got doing the wax and he's shining some hood and he's doing that. Or the one where they're...
Oh, I have to tell you, on that one, Kris was like standing watching this guy like drooling over how good the wax was. But what he didn't know is that the boys, their mom had texted me and say, "Whatever you do when you go to the fair, don't let Kris buy any car wax stuff because the boys got him some for Father's Day." And so Kris is standing there and this guy's like wheeling and dealing with him like, "I'll give you 2 for 25 or 3 for 30. And Kris is like about to buy it. And I'm like, "Oh, babe, you probably won't like that. It's probably not good. It might damage the car." And in my mind, I'm thinking, I was given one job. Don't let him buy the stuff.
Well, I didn't. I actually went home and I was surprised on Father's Day because Father's Day is in June. And I was great. I got the stuff and I used it. And the funny thing is that wax, this is not a plug, but I own a Z and the wax is called Z Best. So I was like, wow, really? Maybe it's for the Z.
I know.
It says
And that's
right
why
on
he
it.
kept saying, he was like, "I should get it. It starts with a Z." And I was like, "No, you really shouldn't." But he got it anyway. So, and then at the end of June, what else happened, Kris?
Well, it looks here, according to my notes, it says Ezekiel, Christine's child, finished middle school. And then it looks like Christine, because he graduated middle school, Christine decided to take him on a little field trip to Europe.
Yeah, we did. We went on a 10-day trip. My oldest sister went with us. And it's one of those things when you're in a relationship and your vacations don't always line up. I was like, "Hey, Kris, are you going to be offended if I take Zeke?" And he's like, "No, go ahead. We'll just FaceTime." So we did. And we went to Barcelona, Paris, and Rome. And it was the trip of a lifetime. And thank you so much for being understanding of that, Kris. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome. And what the crazy thing was that it was trippy, was that because, what is it, like a 10-hour difference?
Yeah, it was 9 hours.
9-hour difference. That's crazy to think about because, like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, "Oh, Christine's going to bed." This is trippy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But then there was times when he was just getting off of work and it was like the middle of the day. And so it'd be like 3 a.m. here and whatever time where I was. And it would be a good time to FaceTime.
Right. It's crazy to think about.
Yep.
So,
All right. And then in the month of July was super fun. We celebrated our first 4th of July together. The year before, we'd started dating in June, but I was out of town for 4th of July. So we got to enjoy some fireworks. It was super fun. We just watched like a community display, but we parked the pickup truck in the Albertsons parking lot because it was the best view.
And the closest spot we can get to because it's so busy.
Because it was so packed and it was so fun. And then also in July, I took Kris and his 2 boys to my school, USC, University of Southern California. And we went and saw some space shuttles at the museum
Some
across the
space shuttle.
street.
We saw the space shuttle
space
at the
shuttle.
California Science Center.
Yeah, it was so cool.
That was amazing. Now, you can't go inside the space shuttle. I was kind of bummed out about that. I thought for sure they like let you get inside the thing, like inside the cockpit or whatever, and push
I know,
buttons.
he was so upset.
And like they take you inside this like hangar they built for the space shuttle, and you just get to like walk underneath the space shuttle and around the outside of it, and that's all you really get to do. Take pictures and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see from that. But that's kind of it, I guess. But I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And also in July is a big deal in San Diego. It was Comic-Con, and we got to go to the premiere opening of this San Diego Comic-Con museum.
Yes, the first ever San Diego Comic-Con museum. And when we went there, it was all themed out for Batman.
It was so cool.
Every Batman thing you can think of, from the costumes to the comics to the Batmobiles to all that kind of stuff they had on display. And they had this really cool, like, it was like a punching thing.
Yeah, it was like a separate room where they had, the walls had like animated comic displays where it had like the pow, bam, like those graphics.
Right, like the TV show from the 60s.
Right. But when you punch the punching bag, those things would blast up on the walls like pow, pam,
And
bam,
then the sound
wow.
effect too. And they had like this weird corny sound effects and
It
the
was so
music
fun.
and stuff. And like when you hit it, you go like a poop, poop, poop sound.
Yeah.
And the kids were doing it. I got video of them. They love doing that kind of stuff.
It was super fun.
That
And they
was
had-
amazing.
And they had vintage pinball machines in there too.
Oh, that's right. The kids are playing those
Yeah.
too. That's right. I forgot about that.
We could barely get them out of there.
Oh, I know. Their place. We got there kind of late. They're about closing when we got there, so they had to hurry. Oh, they had vintage video games too. Remember?
Yeah.
They had every single Batman video game on every console they ever released it on.
Yeah. They had
From,
like PlayStations, Xbox,
Old
Nintendos,
Nintendo.
old Nintendos.
Oh, and the kids were playing that. I was playing what I used to play on the old Super Nintendo. Shout out! And we played that forever too. That was so much fun. That was in July.
So
Now,
that was super fun. So if you are in San Diego or around San Diego and you've wanted to go to Comic-Con, let us just tell you, it's really hard to get tickets to the actual Comic-Con, but there's so many free types of events. Just check out the newspaper, check out the San Diego Reader, and you can find really cool, fun, free things to do out and about the city during Comic-Con week.
because they do realize that tickets are kind of like hard to get, and and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
But the whole city comes alive during the whole entire Comic-Con week. It becomes this whole world, the world of comics and movies and all that stuff. It just happens here in San Diego. It's great. I love it so much.
And I've heard that riding on the trolley during that time of year is quite an experience because everybody's in like full costume.
Oh, it's definitely people watching. It's people watching like Halloween, but all comic book and the weird thing about Comic-Con is you'll see people down there dressed in things you have no idea what they are, but you talk to them, you ask them, and they get like offended. Like,
Yeah.
Don't you know I'm like Ball Dragon 24 from episode 35, written by Mark Doodoo or whatever his name is. And you're like, huh? Okay, whatever.
And they're like, let me show you. And you're like, no, that's okay. Really, that's okay.
Okay, so moving on.
to each his own. Yeah.
Moving on, we got August.
Yes. August.
August was the official month that we became official with starting the Kris and Christine Show podcast.
Yes. It was a big month for us. And we took the leap of faith and we're loving it.
And we got started streaming on several different platforms. And we got this ball rolling, not even knowing if we could even make it happen, or would this equipment even work?
Right.
And will this microphone even work? Or will that microphone even work? Or could they work even together? Or can they even be put into the computer? Is the computer even recording right now? I don't even know. But let's make sure this thing even works.
And I remember that very first episode in the month of August, episode 1, Beef and Bitmojis, was so fun, where we were talking about the Incredible Whopper or Impossible Burger, one of those two. and about Bitmojis on resumes, and we were cracking up, and then we were just like, let's put this out in the universe and let's see how it goes, having no idea how many people would actually listen.
We'll get any kind of response at all.
Right.
You know, so.
And then it just took off.
Right. And then I actually had positive feedback. And I'm like, well, hey, maybe we should keep doing this. You know, like it was one of those things like we're going to try it and see what happens.
Yeah. We'd set a goal of like once every 2 or 3 weeks, we'd issue an episode. And after that first week, we're like, we're going for it. Every single week, we're going to pump out an episode. And
here we are. We have done this nonstop since then.
19 weeks.
High five, baby. Pow. All right. Now, what else do we got? We're going into
September.
September was a big month, too, because in September, we went to Las Vegas. Back over there, we flew to Las Vegas because, if you were listening to our previous episodes, we went there for the 2019 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was my gift from Kris for our 1-year anniversary. He bought us tickets.
That was my gift to her.
Yeah, his gift to me was he bought us tickets to go to the music festival, and he bought them way back in like June, so I had to wait. And we flew out on a Saturday afternoon to get there for the Saturday night festival. And we knew some of the people that might be in the lineup. We had no idea how amazing that festival was going to be. It was fantastic.
I loved it so much that I want to go back for 2020. I want to make sure, I'm sure I'll hear when they make the announcement for when the tickets come on sale. I am going to jump on that, and I'm going to ask my sister because she said she wanted to go. And I'll ask her, I'll tell her, hey, I'm going to buy these tickets. You want? Give me the cash. I'll take care of it. And I'll just see what I can do, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody on your end who want to go?
I don't know. I think I had a couple of people that were interested, but I think it also depends on how close it is to the wedding.
Okay, gotcha. Well, usually it's in September, so I'm assuming it's the same month or whatever.
Yeah. And also something else big happened in September.
Ooh, what you got?
You put a ring on it.
Was that September?
Yes, it was.
I don't remember what it was. So I guess in the month of September, now that Christine is reminding me, I actually proposed to Christine in the month of September.
He did. It was actually like, I think a week after, maybe it was the day after we got back from Vegas. It was very soon after, but it was September 23rd. I know that day. I wrote it down. I got a little Christmas ornament made with that day. And that's the day that he got down on one knee. And we were like, we're not going to plan anything. We're just going to enjoy this. And now we have a full wedding planned.
Yeah, that's how it goes usually. It starts with a ring and then it goes from there.
Yeah.
So that was September. And then after September comes October.
Birthday month for Kris.
Which is my birthday month in October. And for October, we decided to take a little trip to
Hawaii.
Aloha, everybody from Hawaii. Kris's fabulous, fantastic vacation.
And I planned this trip. We talked about a lot of different pieces, but it was my first time going to Hawaii. And we did talk all about it on our Hula and Hang 10 episode. But it was fantastic. And we made a big decision while we were in Hawaii, after we were walking around and we were just kind of mesmerized with the beauty of the islands and the aloha spirit. And we decided that we were going to return there in 13 months to seal the deal.
Yes, because I put the ring on it, which means you got to get married. That's part of the plan. That's part of the package. That's how that works. So while we were in Hawaii, we saw the wedding venue and it looked great. I thought it looked great.
We didn't plan on it when we went there. We thought we'd get married in San Diego, but then we started getting prices back and we realized that our dream and what we would really like, what would be uniquely us, would be to have this beautiful wedding with our closest family and friends in Waikiki.
Oh, that is amazing. I can't wait.
And another big thing that happened while we were in Hawaii was Kris took me to see the sea turtles.
Oh, that's right. The sea turtles. By the way, we saw them up close. We went under the ocean. We saw scuba divers. We went snorkeling. We were right there to those sea turtles. And we saw sea turtles in the wild on the beach.
Yeah, we did.
And we
They
didn't
were
even plan
beautiful.
that.
We weren't. They
and
were
they were just right
amazing.
there. They were right there.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
It was
and I
really
want
fantastic.
to share all of that with my family and
With
your
our
family.
our families,
and our
yeah.
kids and all that, especially the kids. They would
Yeah.
love that kind
They're
of stuff.
gonna love it.
Oh, I show them pictures of Hawaii. They're like, I want to go. Okay,
Yeah.
and next
And then in November. Yeah, we're getting close to the end of the year, getting close to current time. November, we kept it low key. It was really focused on family time. I was gearing up for finals at school, and so we didn't travel anywhere, but we did have a family birthday party here for Chris's mom, Sandy, who we featured here on our show for her 70th birthday.
Twice, actually.
Yeah,
Twice.
we
She's done
featured her
twice.
twice, but that night we featured her, and we had a really fun celebration for her here.
That was amazing. Her 70th birthday.
Yep, and that brings us to December, a month that has been
this month.
filled, with so much love and so much fun. And one of the things that I've loved about this month, Kris, is that we hit a huge milestone in our podcast by having 2,000 listens across all of our episodes.
That is fantastic. Also, we are also now including 12 different countries we actually
Yes.
been played in. 12 different countries have listened to my voice and your voice. That's crazy to think about.
I know. We just got another 2 this week, and that was Tajikistan and Egypt that were added to our list. And so now we have listeners from almost every continent, Kris.
We do, huh?
Yeah.
That is crazy. So I guess, does Antarctica count?
No.
Okay.
So I think the one that we're missing is South America, because we have Central America, but I don't know if we have South America. We have Europe. We have Asia. We now have Africa because
Is it
Egypt.
Egypt? That's right. Wow.
Yeah. And then we have North America and we have Australia. And so I think that the one that we're missing, other than Antarctica, is actual South America. So listeners, if you have any friends or family that live in South America, we would love, love, love. It would make our life complete.
It would.
If you would share this and have them listen to an episode, and then that would take us completely around the world.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Fantastic
I know.
indeed. Truly world famous.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
I can't wait. That would be amazing.
So this month, some of the things that we did want to highlight that we have done, again, has been family time, but it's a little tradition that we do with our boys, and that is family fireside time. So one of the things that Kris does for us is he'll build a really nice fire in the fireplace, and on cold winter nights, we will, normally on a Saturday night, choose a family-friendly Christmas video, Christmas movie, and watch it. And we pull out the s'more sticks, and we roast s'mores over the indoor fireplace. And we get graham crackers and chocolate, and the boys absolutely adore s'mores nights.
Oh, we all do. They can get a little messy though, because
Yeah, it
kids
can.
do get a little, because s'mores do get sticky with
They
the
sure do.
marshmallow and all that and everything. So you gotta be very careful. Make sure you get all the gear and all the cleanup gear you're gonna need, because they're gonna make sure you don't drop it everywhere. But
And
yeah,
we're
it's
super
great.
careful. Like, we help them, and we get the really long wooden s'more sticks that don't burn. And you can get them. I think I bought some at the grocery store, but they have them at Home Depot and Lowe's, and they come in like a 6-pack. But maybe that's something that you would think of trying out with your family. A super simple, low-key night. Put on a family movie, roast some s'mores, everybody curl up on the couch, and have a really nice winter night.
Aw, and Merry Christmas brings us to Christmas, which was just last week, and that was fantastic.
It was a wonderful time. And that wraps up our year in review of 2019 with Kris and Christine. We hope that you all have enjoyed it. The reason we wanted to do our full year in review is because you all only joined us in August, and this was actually our first full year together.
Yes, it was. 2019 was our first full year, and next year will be our next first full year, not only being together, you and me, Christine, but being together with you out there in the podcast land. It's going to be our next official full year of doing a podcast.
Definitely.
In the year 2020 coming up next year. And this episode is the very last one of 2019.
It is. And we are making just a couple of little adjustments around the Kris and Christine show related to our YouTube channel. Right, Kris?
That is correct. So our YouTube channel, what I've been doing is I've been actually putting the full podcast episodes available to listen on the YouTube channel. Now, YouTube as a company, they kind of frown upon that.
Right.
They really want you to put video on their video platform. So what we're going to do is we still have the Kris and Christine show channel. It's still going to be available, but here's what we're going to do. Don't you worry, Buttercup. We are going to fix it for you because we are going to officially start putting more video content on our video YouTube channel.
We are. And we're going to be starting just after New Year's with our first video of 2020, which will be photo highlights from 2019. So if you're listening to this podcast episode and you would love to see what some of those adventures have been that we've had over the course of the last year, we want to share it with you, our podcast family, and Kris is putting together an amazing video montage, photo montage, that he's going to be uploading in a few short days for you all to enjoy. And we will continue to put up different fun videos that help you get to know us, your podcast hosts, a little bit more because you are part of our family.
Yes, thank you guys for listening. Thank everybody for listening. And because of that, think of it like a little bonus behind the scenes channel. We're going to be putting up little teaser things, little cute little video things, photo montages of video. It's going to be more video related. Now, we are not a dedicated YouTube channel. We're not YouTubers or anything like that. We're podcasters. So the YouTube thing is going to be a little funsy thing we're going to do on the side, like little bonus features.
Yeah, it's like when you stay tuned after the movie for the bonus reel on DVDs. That's what this is. You get the inside scoop. So stick around with us. And that's where we'll be making some fun announcements about different things as they come up. And yeah, so we just want to thank you all so very much for joining us for our first 19 episodes. We are just still in awe of the fact that we are on almost every continent. And thank you so much for helping us to really become the world famous Kris and Christine show.
Thank you so much, Christine. That was amazing. And it has been an honor and a privilege to be doing this podcast with you for the year 2019. I want to say thank you personally, and on behalf of myself and all the listeners out there, we say thank you.
And Lord Christopher.
Oh, yes.
Your audience.
Your Majesty. Your audience.
Your loyal subjects appreciate you too.
Oh, thank you.
No, we say this, I talk about this all the time, but this podcast has been Kris's vision and dream. And if it wasn't for him, he's the brains behind it. He's our audio engineer, our graphics designer.
Ooh.
He is the Lord of the K2 Studios extraordinaire.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for
Thank
you, this wouldn't be possible. And so as we close out this year, I just want to say, babe, this has been an amazing 365 days, and I really can't wait to see what we dream up next.
Oh, on that note, Happy New Year's, everybody. Be safe. Love everybody. All that good stuff. Don't get too crazy now. Make sure you see 2020. It's just around the corner. And Happy New Year's.
Remember this week that life is too short to wake up in the morning with regret.
So love the people who treat you right, forget about the ones who don't, and believe that everything happens for a reason.
If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said that it would be easy.
They just promised it would be worth it. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kris.
And I'm Christine, and until next week,
Keep moving forward.